I am Savvy Mike, and this is Savvy Reviews. And well, this is my official review of episode 5 of EUPHORIA of season 3 as well. This is season 3, by the way. I forgot what it's titled. But this was a rather interesting episode, I will say. A lot of interesting things happened. While the plot is definitely moving forward, this episode, I would say, was mostly focused on Cassie and Maddie and what their storyline and what they had going on. Of course, it was moments with Rue, having to try and get a reason to wiretap Lori and her crew so the feds pick her up to try and get them to incriminate themselves. By the way, this is full spoilers. So I have to let you know. And at the end of the day, I feel like, it's still kind of muddy, at least as far as like where this episode is going with the whole Rue stuff. Like, I feel like Rue is just somebody that doesn't really know how to navigate the situation that they're in. So they're just like in the past few seasons, fumbling through everything that they're going through. And it kind of shows in the scene that she had with Jules in this, where Jules is just like, well, if you want me, then come get me. But Rue is just so indifferent and so oblivious to things. It's just like, she's just vibing. So she don't really think about it that seriously. And that's the problem. So it just doesn't feel like it's really any character development happening with Rue. It just feels like Sam Levinson is kind of put this character in a stale state of, well, she has to be the fumbling person through these very serious and fucked up situations, because that's what this show is. And show no real growth, while all the other characters are definitely growing and their characters are evolving within the episodes that are being told, especially Cassie's character. Like I said, this episode was mainly focused on Cassie and her OnlyFans dealings. We saw her really dive deep into being an OnlyFans model after getting the promo from the guy with the millions of followers. And well, she dove deep, I'll say that much. I'm sure to any gooning Sydney Sweeney fan, this was paradise for them. This was everything the Gooners wanted to see. Sam Levinson gave it all. And honestly, I'm gonna say this much about Sydney Sweeney: she's killing it. Like, she's doing a great job, an amazing job in this role, and she definitely has some acting prowess. I know we like to just look at her as the pretty girl, but if you've seen The Housemaid and if you watch her in Euphoria, this girl really has some chops. And in the Christie movie where she was playing the boxer, this blondie got some chops, I'm not gonna lie. And so she's going through those OnlyFans dealing, and of course Maddie is managing her through it and getting a cut, because I guess she is her manager at this point, if anything pimp, but manager, yeah. And so Cassie's blowing up, she's going crazy on the internet, and Brandon approaches her again and says, hey, you should join our content house. We'll really turn you up for real. Like, I'm one of the most famous people on the internet. I turned you up with one type of promo. Let me turn you up with some more promo. Come and move in. And the whole time I'm thinking, well, is Nate approving of this? Is he mad about it? And in a scene, she does say that Nate is fully supporting everything she's doing. That she's wiring him money and giving him $30,000. So Maddie tells her, yeah, you need to cut this nigga off. It's not about him anymore. It's about your career of being an OnlyFans model. But Cassie is showing a lot of love for Nate, at least, and still at least thinking about him and saying, hey, if I got to be the one to be the breadwinner in our marriage, then that's what I got to be. And well, we come to find out that Nate is truly really supporting that, to the point where he's calling her that. And he wants her to dump Maddie and go sign to the content house and move in, because he sees this as a big opportunity for her. At the end of the day, she agrees, and she goes, well, I guess I'm signing things over to these guys. And she has to tell Maddie that she has to fire her. So she meets Maddie at her apartment, and she said, it breaks my heart to do this, but I gotta let you go, Maddie. And Maddie, in my opinion, pretends to pick up the phone. Well, it's not my opinion, that's what she did. Pretends to pick up the phone and act like she has an audition for Cassie to be on this TV show. And Cassie is like, no, don't lose the audition. This is my opportunity and chance to be a star. And so, She scratches all that, and Maddie gets a contract drawn up where at first Cassie to sign. She signs away. Maddie takes a picture of her signing to make it legally official. And well, Maddie has started her OnlyFans models agency. This is her official first signee. And we come to find out she's looking for more. In the next scene, where her and Rue are at the diner, and it did kind of seem kind of odd. Like, it was just like, it felt like it was out of place. Like, it just like, well, what is happening here? And then when Alamo pulled up, I was like, oh, this is what's happening here. And so while Maddie did know much about Alamo, she knew that he ran a strip club, and I guess light bulb popped in her head. Well, he runs whores. I'm trying to run some hoes, and he must not know about the internet strip club called OnlyFans, so let me tap him in. And well, her and Alamo get tapped in while Alamo is feeling a bit anxious about Rue, and so he has her go bury herself with her head above the ground. But we'll get back to that. Anyways, Alamo and Maddie end up going to Alamo's strip club, looking at the prospects, picking two, because hey, he let her know, hey, we could get these girls popping. You take 15%, I take 15%. They take the 70%, and we all make millions of dollars on OnlyFans. Alamo, of course, being a businessman, sees the opportunity, understands that he has a slew of hoes, wastes no time to accept the deal. Like I said, all that stuff is interesting with Maddie and Cassie, to be honest. Honestly, the best part of the show, in my opinion. Also, Maddie ends up begging Lexi to get the actual audition, and she ends up doing it. Cassie ends up auditioning, using her last name so that Lexi can be the one. She can say, oh yeah, Lexi recommended me, because Lexi works for the studio. And well, she ends up getting the part. I guess they like Cassie. I don't know if her having OnlyFans matters or not. I guess it doesn't. Who cares, right? She's playing a small role. But regardless of it, this is her step into the Hollywood door, and it's everything that she could have asked for and wanted. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff going on with Cassie, I'm not gonna lie. While the beginning part was weird, her becoming Godzilla and shit, and putting her boobs to the office, it was weird for sure. Yeah, but after that, the episode kind of won me over, in a sense. I like where the characters are developing. I like where everything is going with Cassie, Maddie, and Jacob Elordi's character Nate, and Jules as well has some interesting stuff too. It's just the Rue stuff is just, like I said, it's just, I don't like the fact that she feels so naive to these, what's going on. You look oppy, you look crazy right now, and the reason why, because you got the feds on your ass. So at least act a bit more smart about it, and try to play your role till you can see a way out of it. But Rue just, like I said, fumbles her way through having some of the weirdest plot armor I've ever seen, if I can be completely honest with you. Some of the weirdest plot armor ever. But hey, she's the main character of the show. So I guess, in a sense, this is what Sam Levinson is telling us. This is what the show is truly about. Either way, overall, enjoyed it. So I'll overall give it a fire. I heard the final episode of the season will be an hour, 30 minutes. So getting the full EUPHORIA movie at the end of this, that would be fun, I guess. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know. As always, I'm Savvy Mike, and this is Savvy Reviews. Peace.